Today's video is sponsored by Arterton in the UK, a London-based design workshop specializing in lifestyle products with an emphasis on a sartorial boutique experience. Visit arterton.co.uk to check out all their wares, including the Oxfords featured in today's video. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Elegant Oxford. Today we're looking at Yearn Shoemaker from Arterton in the UK. I really want to thank them for sending this pair of shoes to look at, and they also sent me another really amazing item that they sell that I'm going to look at in a bit. But thanks again to Arterton for sending this over. Now, I've said this a million times and you're going to probably hear it a million more, and I know you're tired of hearing it, but I'm really interested in the art of shoemaking, in the intricacies of a handmade shoe, and unfortunately, it pains me to say this, there isn't a company in the United States that still makes a handmade shoe. We have Alden, Allen Edmonds, Raincourt, but those three companies produce Goodyear welted shoes. Nobody in the US, aside from bespoke shoemakers, and there are only two that I can think of, make an actual handmade shoe. And that is really unfortunate because I wish to learn about companies that are preserving the art of shoemaking into the future. I don't want this art to be lost, and unfortunately, it doesn't exist in the US anymore. So aside from the popular and renowned UK brands and European brands like brands from Spain, I like to look at brands that are up and coming, that are not as well known, that make a solid product, and Yearn is one of those companies. Now, the founder, Phoenix, was in the UK for a long time, and he learned about shoemaking, and then he brought it home to China, where he started producing shoes, and Yearn is his company. Now, this isn't just, PR. I'm serious here. Yearn makes a fantastic product for the price, starting at just $400, all the way to $460, $480 for made to order, which means you can customize the shoe. That you can get a hand-welted, hand-lasted, and hand-stitched shoe. That's just unheard of. At this price point, usually hand-lasted goes into the $600 to $800 range. So this is really phenomenal stuff, and I'm really excited to take a look at them, so let's just not delay any further. The box is really nice. It's like a silky material. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's obviously cardboard, but there's like a nice silky material on top. Here's the box. Right. All right. Let's put that to the side. Wow. I really like this this tweed material here. Really nice with the leather embossed emblem. Looks really cool. Already liking the presentation so far. All right. I like the shoe bags as well. I really do like this material. It looks really regal and cool. So let's take a look at the shoe. Wow. I mean, just looking at it initially, this is just stunning. Beautiful color and beautiful, beautiful shape. So, right off the bat, I am very happy with what I just saw. Let's get the other shoe out. Oh, man. These are gorgeous, gorgeous shoes. Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, much better than I anticipated. I had talked to people who have bought stuff from Arterton and from Yearn, and this is better than I expected. So let's put this box down and take a look at the shoes. Let's go down to the sole area, which I always really like to look at first. And I gotta be honest, this is fantastic, phenomenal work. Some of the best I've seen in any price range under $1,000. I can say that definitively. This is very smooth and perfect work. I think when you are buying a budget shoe, right, you expect things to be a little sloppy, but you're like, it's okay, it's less money than I'd be paying for another brand. But you can see for yourself, this is phenomenal work. And the beveling is just so perfect. It's really akin to the style you'd see on Yohei Fukuda, which starts right at the edge and is really round and goes to the other side. I measured it at 2.5 inches, which is very slim. It's the first time in life where smaller is better, but really, really great work. Closed channel stitching, beautiful dark, looks like an oak color, Triumph toe taps. But really, I mean, look at that. Very beautiful work, a beautiful heel. Man. I'm trying not to sound too enthusiastic because then it sounds fake. I'm like well aware of that. But I'm really seriously impressed with Yearn. This is some of the finest work I've seen, period. You can look at my other review series, and very, very beautiful. I haven't seen a sole like this in a while. So kudos to them. Very, very good work on this area. Now let's head over to the top, to the upper, and we can take a look at that. Okay, so let's look at the upper, which is really, really beautiful. Now this is a soft chiseled toe. It's not a square toe. Growing up, I only liked really round toes. As I've matured more in my tastes, I really like chiseled toes now. Just really regal looking, and I really like how it looks on the foot. So it's very, very beautiful. Now this is Burgundy Museum Calf. I hope you can see it. I know the lighting's kind of weird, but there's a beautiful contrast between burgundy, red, and black all over the shoe, which I really, really like. It looks really, really awesome. Very nice. Of course, this is a Balmoral. So you can see the seam here with the beautiful swan neck design, because it looks like a swan's neck. It's one of my favorite stylistic elements in a shoe. It really takes me back to the classic American shoemakers, the golden era. Of course, a hidden waist, a blind waist, which means that in this position you really can't see the waist. So it has this beautiful effect where it flares out, accentuates the human foot, and we have a very nice flared forefront. It's not a spade sole, it's a flared front, and it looks really nice. Now, of course, even better than just normal hand welted, these are hand stitched on the outside, which is even better for a shoe to be hand welted. The upper just has to be hand stitched to the welt, but this went all the way. Everything is hand stitched. So it's really phenomenal, beautiful work. It is a stunning last, very contoured. Everything is just perfect. Now, I think a lot of people who've only bought American shoes look at these lasts and they're like, how's your foot supposed to fit in that? Well, believe it or not, these legacy shoemakers, they found a way to make a shoe look beautiful and slim and contoured, but somehow it's more roomy than the American counterpart. I find that some of the lasts Allen Edmonds uses are just horrible. Like the 65 last, even though I love the strand, it's just the worst last ever created. It's just so slim and long that most people have to size down and size up a width. So it's just not a great last. These European shoemakers, or at least ones that were European inspired or learned in England, really make beautiful lasts that are hug you on your foot right where it's supposed to be tight, and then are loose right where they're supposed to be loose. And they just look phenomenal. So that's kind of a weird explanation, but that's really the only way I can say it. Now the edges here are just so smooth, and everything's just beautifully made. There you go. Very, very nice. Obviously, it is a 5 eyelet Oxford classic. I like 6, I've always mentioned that, but 5 is really, really nice. And everything's great. Really soft, malleable, full grain calfskin. Not stiff at all. So it looks really nice. And the shoe is well made all around. I'm really looking carefully at it, and everything is perfectly done. No complaints. Very well made. Now, before I continue, I want to show you all a little extra gift that Arterton sent me that I really, really love. This beautiful European beechwood hanger is by Nakata. Now, Nakata has been around since 1946, and they've been producing these gorgeous hangers by hand right in Japan. And I really have to say how impressed I am with the craftsmanship here. They're sold at Arterton, and the very best part is you can have them engraved with your name or a logo. And of course, I decided to have them place the elegant Oxford logo right here at the top. I was told, since my logo is kind of complicated, that it was a real challenge, so I really want to thank everyone for their patience in adding this design where it should be. Now, I know this is predominantly a shoe channel, but this is just a really cool extra to highlight where I can hang an odd jacket or my suit from. I don't think anyone's ever going to be inside my closet realistically to ever see it. But these hangers don't just look amazing, they support your suit in the right place by the shoulders to avoid fabric wear and such. I think it's analogous to using a good shoe tree, but it's with your garments instead. So if anyone is interested in these, make sure to contact Arterton to pick some up. Like everything made in Japan, from their cars, the shoes, and even to the video games. I'm really impressed with it overall, especially because I've never really gotten into luxury hangers. I think all of mine are made from some type of plastic, so this is just really, really cool to have and see. Now, as I close my thoughts about Yearn, I really want to emphasize the reality that of course there are better shoes out there. My praise for these Oxfords is well meant and true, but it has to be tempered and examined within the broader context of my other reviews and my overall thoughts about shoemaking. But realistically, you might end up paying anywhere from $700 to possibly $1,000 or more for something comparable within the hand-lasted, hand-welted, and even hand-sewn echelons. Yearn is a great way to experience those handmade elements for a really affordable price. Like I said, no corners are cut where it would even be permissible for this price range. Moreover, I know we often try to ignore this reality, but a lot of the time, we're paying for name brands simply because they're more popular or have a higher status in the communities we're part of. Now, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of the time we're willing to pay more for the same quality for the sake of obtaining a particular product that is well known or more popular. I mean, owning a Rolex is a perfect example. There are watches that are just as well made as a Rolex that costs a lot less, but everyone wants a Rolex on their wrist at the end of the day because who doesn't want to show off that incredible status symbol? I mean, that's brand recognition and marketing for you, and it's really effective. But with smaller companies that are much less known like Yearn, you're trading the clout of a well-known and established brand for an honest-to-goodness quality item that costs less, has less recognition, and will perhaps net you less Instagram or Facebook likes, if those things even matter to you. And they do to some people, and that's okay. So it really just depends on who you are to make that decision for you. My final and honest thoughts are these. The shoe is simply too good to pass up for the price. Traditionally, $450 isn't going to get you a lot from the big heritage brands. It'll get you a solid and respectable Goodyear welted shoe, don't get me wrong, but it won't get you anything as good as this. So the next time you're going to spend around $400 for a pair of Oxfords and you really want to get your money's worth out of those dead presidents, Yearn is not a bad way to go. Thank you again for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really want to thank Arterton for providing the shoes and the hanger. And of course, like always, I was not paid or have received no money for any of my reviews. These are just my honest thoughts. So thanks again for watching. Please visit theelegantoxford.com for all of your Saphir and shoe care needs. I have access to Saphir's entire line, so make sure to go and check it out. I left a 5% discount code in the description of this video just for you. So thanks again, and I will see you next time. Oh, and before I forget, because I know some of you are going to ask, I didn't do any patina work on this particular model. What I did do was I used acetone to remove some of the finish by the toe, and then I dyed some of that area using oxblood just for a higher contrast, so when I did the mirror shine you could see more of that black and red juxtaposition. So that's all I did, and then I mirror shined the shoe. So it is Burgundy Museum calf, but I did add a little bit of a flare to the toe area just so you could see that contrast a little better. Thanks guys.